All right. Now, two other events. What did you make of the Hunter Biden not getting the plea deal today, having to plead not guilty almost exclusively because of the feelings and misgivings of the judge?
The judge was right. Everybody knows the fix was in the investigation. And Hunter Biden did the country a massive favor by being a grifter. Because of Hunter Biden, we now know the extent of the Justice Department corruption, which extends to the FBI, of the White House corruption, where the president surely knew that his son and brother were in business with foreign operations and says he didn't know. It's a bunch of malarkey, to steal his word. So Americans know, viscerally, that this was a big con from top to bottom. And Hunter Biden is responsible for unmasking this corruption. So maybe we can deal with it now. As for him, nobody cares about Hunter Biden, whether he gets probation or has to serve a year or something like that. Who cares? What is vital is if Vice President Biden at the time took money. That's
right.
what this is all about. And
or
we don't
or the
know.
Rest of the family.
Well, I don't get. Look, the rest of the family is the rest of the family. Him, if he took money, that's one of the biggest scandals in American history.
I get it, but when you have a lot of people in a family who aren't really involved in that kind of commerce, benefiting from that kind of commerce, you should have to answer the questions. However, I have a different take. I believe that the judge pushed back on the deal today. She didn't kill it because I think that there's an equal argument that the prosecutors were setting Biden up. Because her problem was really with the diversion agreement, which means because of this deal, you won't get prosecuted for anything else, even in another case, even though we haven't brought the charges yet. And she said, I don't know that there's any basis. But hold on a second. That's not her saying there's a cover-up, you're going easy on him. That's the opposite, which is you're getting him to sign a deal right now, but you may still prosecute him.
Okay, look. They're going to get Hunter Biden on failing to register as a foreign agent. There is a federal law you have to do that. That's what they got Manafort on. Manafort served too. That's what Hunter Biden did. There's no doubt he did it. He didn't register. And the Biden family got between 17 and 30 million from overseas companies and concerns. So they're going to get him on that now. They have to get him on that now because Merrick Garland's going to get impeached. We're going to have a new attorney general. And it's over. It's the fixers and the grifters are over now. It's all been exposed. So the judge knows that. She knows that the feds are going to go after Hunter Biden on the foreign agent law. So she wasn't going to let this plea bargain wipe that out. That's what it's all about. In addition, she herself Cuomo, she herself sentenced an American to prison for having an illegal handgun and taking narcotics. She did it.
Right.
So to let him walk on it, skate on the same charge that she imprisoned somebody on, she couldn't do it.
Right. Well, no, hold on. She didn't make a ruling on the weapons charge and saying that that was wrong. It was about the diversion program, and it seemed that the two sides weren't on the same page. But look, we'll see where it goes. I just saw it today differently than you. I saw it as proof that these prosecutors may have been setting Hunter Biden up for doing this plea agreement and then getting him anyway because of what he signed. Rudy Giuliani. I read what he, through his lawyer, put out today differently than the media does, many in the media. I think that he is admitting, to avoid litigation on the civil side, that certain things he said were not true. They were false, but not necessarily defamatory, slanderous. And that's a distinction with a difference. Everyone's reporting that he admits to slander. If he did, then that means that he's saying that he and Trump Co. were a bunch of liars. Do you accept that?
Well, you're right in the sense that the misreporting by the far left, and that's who is trafficking in that story today, is ridiculous. So Rudy Giuliani didn't admit to anything other than to say he can't back up what he said about these individuals. So the lawyers are going to come in and say, look, at the time, that's what he believed. But now it's borne out that his belief was false.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.